Good day everyone. So our topic for today will be Newton's laws of motion, and I will be giving you 4 problems para maintindihan natin kung ano yung Newton's law of motion. And to start off, let me introduce you to our first problem. So ito na. So ayayin yung basahin ko muna yung problem. A waiter shoves a ketchup bottle with a mass of 0.45 kilograms to the right along a smooth, level lunch counter. The bottle leaves her hand moving at 2.8 meters per second, then slows down as it slides because of the constant horizontal friction force exerted on it by the countertop. It slides a distance of 1.0 meter before coming to rest. What are the magnitude and direction of the friction force acting on the bottle? So, hinahanap natin sa problem na to is yung in-exert na friction force on the bottle to achieve its complete stop. So, dahil meron tayong in-apply na force, which is yung pinush ng babae, ng waitress, dun sa ketchup bottle. So, hinahanap is yung friction force, which is yung nagpa-stop dun sa bote pagka-push ng babae. So, we all know friction force is just the opposite force nung in-apply mong force dun sa object para ma-achieve niya yung complete stop. So, para mapatigil yung isang bagay. So, yun yung friction force. So, para mag-start tayo, i-drawing muna natin yung free body diagram. So, ang free body diagram nito, because nasa flat surface siya, so, meron ina-exert na weight yung bottle dun sa surface, which is weight is equal to mass times gravity. So, pag kinumpute natin yun is just simply 0.45 times negative 9.81. So, syempre, dahil nasa flat surface siya, meron din ina-apply yung flat surface na normal force dun sa bottle. And yung normal force na yun is just simply opposite nung in-apply niya ng bottle dun sa surface, which is yung weight niya. So, i-opposite lang natin yung normal force nung weight, which is just simply negative na weight, which is kung negative yung weight natin, dapat positive yung normal force natin. So, magiging negative 0.45 times negative 9.81. So, next sa ating free body diagram is yung friction force na hinahanap natin, which is should be on the left side because kina-counter niya yung force na in-apply natin dun sa bottle nung pinush nung waitress yung bottle. So, dapat kina-counter niya yung force na in-apply to have a complete stop. So, para tumigil yung bote. Kasi kung walang friction force, hindi titigil yung bote kapag pinush ng babae yung ketchup bottle. So, magtutuloy-tuloy lang dapat yung bote. So, ngayon, alam na natin yung free body diagram ng ating equation or ng problem. So, mag-proceed na tayo sa pag-solve ng ating problem. So, identify first natin yung given. So, meron tayong mass na 0.45. Meron tayong mass na 0.45. Mass is equals to 0.45 kilogram. So, next is meron tayong initial velocity because ito yung pinush ng babae, ng waitress, dun sa bottle. So, may initial siya na 2.8 meters per second. And yung magiging final velocity natin is yung complete stop nung bottle, nung nag-rest siya, nung tumigil siya, nung in-apply ng friction force, which would be 0 meters per second. Bakit 0 meters per second yung final velocity? Dahil tumigil na siya, so dapat wala nang velocity yung bottle because at complete stop na siya. So, proceed tayo dito. So, meron tayong initial velocity na 2.8 meters per second. And we have a final velocity na 0 meters per second. And lastly, na-given natin is nag-travel daw yung pagka-push daw ng bottle at complete stop, na-travel niya ay 1 meter. So, this would be our delta x. So, delta x would be 1.0 meter. So, ngayon, alam na natin yung mga given natin. So, ngayon, isa-set up na natin yung ating equation. ano ba yung hinahanap natin? Hinahanap natin is yung magnitude ng friction force and yung direction ni friction force, which is yung to the left nga yun. So, para mahanap natin si magnitude ni friction force, set up natin equation. Alam natin is force is equals to mass times acceleration. So, kung mass times acceleration ang ating force na gagamitin ngayon, which is summation pala ng force, sorry, nalimutan ko, along x, because friction is along x axis. So, may given tayong mass, which is 0.45 kg, pero wala tayong acceleration. So, paano ba natin i-compute si acceleration? So, may given tayong initial velocity and final velocity and delta x. So, going back from kinematics, motion in one dimension, may formula tayo na delta x is equals to VOT plus 1/2 AT squared. And meron din tayong formula na VF squared equals VO squared plus 2A delta x. So, hindi natin magagamit yung second equation kasi wala mang given na time. So, gagamitin natin yung third equation, which will be VF squared is equal to VO squared plus 2A delta x. So, dito pa lang, makikita na natin na kumpleto yung ating given na meron tayong VF, meron tayong VO, meron tayong delta x, and we can solve for A. So, A can be solved by VF squared minus VO squared all over 2 delta x is equals to A. So, substitute na lang natin yung value nila. So, A is equals to VF would be 0 squared, 0 ms squared minus VO natin is 2.8 ms squared all over 2 delta x natin would be 1.0 meters. So, A will be, pag input natin sa ating calcu, 0 squared minus 2.8 squared all over 2 times 1 meter. That would be negative 3.92 meters per second squared. Huwag kakalimutan ang unit na ang ating acceleration is squared na. Kung i-compare natin sa velocity, ms lang ang ating velocity. So, ngayon, may acceleration na tayo. We can solve for this equation na. So, friction force natin would be 0.45 kilogram times acting acceleration, which is nakuha natin, negative 3.92 ms squared, and that would be equal to 0.45 times negative 3.92. That will be equal to negative 1.764 Newton. So, ito na ang ating magiging sagot sa ating friction force, which will be negative 1.764. And ang kanyang direction would be to the left. Tama lang kasi ang friction force is opposite ng ating force na in-apply. So, magkasama na natin si magnitude and direction. So, nararapat lang na negative yung makuha natin sagot sa magnitude kasi nga ang ating friction force is opposite ng in-apply nating force. So, which will be from the left side ng which will be left ng x-axis, which is alam natin na negative yung pag alam natin na move yung object from the left. So, nararapat lang na yung sagot natin is naka-negative because opposing ng ating force na in-apply. Ibig sabihin, kung negative 1.764 yung ating friction, dapat ang force na in-apply dun sa object ng weight rest should be 1.764 because summation of forces would be 1.764 plus negative ng ating plus yung ating friction which would be negative 1.764. So magka-cancel out na sila, so dapat lang na ma-equal siya sa 0 to achieve its full stop. So nasagot na natin ang ating first problem. So magpunta naman tayo ngayon sa ating susunod na problem. So for our next problem, a chair of mass 12 kg is sitting on the horizontal floor. The floor is not frictionless. The coefficient of friction is 0.12. You push on the chair with a force F equals 40 Newton that is directed at an angle of 37 degrees below the horizontal, and the chair slides along the floor. So letter A, draw a clearly labeled free body diagram for the chair. So yan yung pinakamahalaga sa lahat para masagutan natin ng maayos yung ating problem. Next is use your diagram and Newton's law to calculate the normal force that the floor exerts on the chair and the acceleration of the chair. So ang hinahanap sa problem na to is yung normal force and the acceleration of the chair. So first, identify natin yung given. So let me erase this first. So ang given natin ay meron tayong 12 kilograms na mass. Mass will be 12 kilograms. Next, meron tayong coefficient of friction which is 0.12. Coefficient of friction is 0.12. Next, meron tayong force na in-apply na 40 newtons. And next will be, meron tayong angle na 37 degrees below the horizontal. So, which should be, yung angle natin would be negative 37. Or, with respect to, ating x-axis, positive x-axis, so 360 minus 37, that would be 323 degrees. So, anong unang tanong ay draw a clearly labeled free body diagram. So, okay. So, magdodrawing tayo nating free body diagram. So, sabi, meron daw 12 kilograms na sitting on a horizontal floor. Ibig sabihin, kung nasa horizontal floor siya, meron siyang ina-exert na, wait lang, change natin yung kulay ng ating pointer para makita natin. Yan. So, meron tayong ina-exert na weight dito kasi nga, nasa resting siya sa floor, which is sabi dito, sitting on a horizontal floor. So, next is kung may weight ka na in-apply sa isang surface, so dapat meron kang in-exert na normal force. Next, meron ka daw in-apply na force which is 37 degrees below the horizontal. So, itong force na to, ayan daw ay 37 degrees below the horizontal, which is F is equals to 40N. And finally, meron tayong ayun na, kompleto na pala tayo sa ating given. Coefficient of friction mo, meron is 0.12. So, dahil may friction ka, yung force na i-apply mo is meron palang coefficient of friction na i-apply natin dito. Meron kang friction na F. Opposite ng in-apply natin. So, ngayon, ang tanong, ano daw yung normal force? And use your diagram to calculate the normal force. So, first step is identify the equation na ating gagamitin. So, para sa ating gagamitin na equation, is force on the along x-axis. So, ano ba yung mga forces along x-axis? May force ka dito na 40N, which is negative 37 degrees. And meron tayong friction force na given na 0.12. Ang formula ng ating friction ay mu n, where n is equals to ating normal force. So, solve tayo ngayon ng summation na f of x along x tong forces na to. So, ang force natin along is etong force na 40N. Kaso, meron tayong angle. So, dapat meron tayong cosine of, dahil alam natin 323, cosine of 323. Next, meron tayong friction. So, meron tayong given na coefficient. So, ito yung gagamitin natin. So, minus, kasi nga plus negative yung ating friction, minus F. So, magiging minus mu n. Wherein, alam natin yung mu natin ay equal to 0.12. And yung n natin is unknown. Cos 323 minus 0.12 n. So, ngayon, hindi pa natin masasolve si ating forces along x kasi kulang tayo ng ating normal force. So, dito, saan ba natin i-equate tong equation along x-axis? Dahil gumagalaw siya, so dapat ang ating EF of x is equals to mass times acceleration. So, unknown pa ang ating acceleration, pero may given na tayong mass. So, tigil muna tayo dyan sa f of x or force along x. So, next natin is forces along y muna. Dahil hindi pa natin masosolve si forces along x. So, forces along y is equals to, ano ba yung nag-aaksaan niya? Meron tayong weight. So, weight is just simply equals to mass times gravity. So, weight is always negative. So, negative W plus meron tayo normal force which is opposite kaya plus to. So, equals to negative mass times gravity plus n. So, wala naman na tayo ibang force na nag-a-act along y-axis kundi weight and normal force lang. So, ano dapat ang ating summation ng forces? Dapat equal siya sa 0 because hindi naman tayo gumalaw sa ating y-axis. So, dapat mag-equal siya to 0. So, nasa flat surface siya. So, dapat hindi siya gagalaw along y. So, I almost forgot pala dito sa ating equation. Meron pa tayong isang force which is yung 40N na may angle. So, ang force na to is magiging sine 323. So, plus 40N sine 323. So, ngayon, dahil 0 to, we can solve for n dito kasi alam natin si value ni mass dito na 12.0 kg times 9.81 ms squared plus n plus 40n 323. So we can solve this. 12 times 9, 12 times negative 9.81. So this will be negative 117.72 plus n, and ang ating 40n sin 323. So that would be negative 24. 0.7. Yan. So ngayon, dahil alam na natin yung mga value na ito, we can solve for n, and that would be transferring yung ating negative 117.72 sa kabila and 24.07. So ang ating magiging sagot ay 117.72 plus 24.07. That would be 141.79. Ngayon, meron na tayong normal force. So, na-solve na natin si normal force na kaninang tinatanong sa ating problem na normal force. Ayan, nasagot na natin yung una. Ngayon, acceleration na lang ating kulang. We can solve for acceleration using equation natin kanina. And we can solve this dahil ang kulang na lang natin dito is na-solve natin si normal force, meron tayong mass. So, si acceleration matitira dito. So, by getting that equation, meron tayong mass na 12 kg. Wala tayong A is equals to 40n cos 323. We can compute for that. That will be 31.95. N. And 0. Minus 0.12 times ang ating n would be, na-compute natin, 141.79 n. So, I forgot the unit dito, so don't forget newtons. So, this will be equal to 31.95 minus 0.12 times 141.79. That will be 14.94 n. So solving for A, all over 12 kg. So 14.94 divided by 12 kg, that would be 1.24 ms squared. So, nasolve na natin si ating A and ating N.